If you watched my last video, you'll notice that I used this new log dolly to move the logs from the log pile over to the mill. So in this video, I will just tell you a little bit more about it. I built this myself out of some scrap metal, and I also bought a couple of parts. I bought these wheels from Harbor Freight. They are 13-inch, 400-pound wheel and tire combinations. I also bought this 16-inch clamp from Amazon. And then the rest of it was either scrap metal or other stuff I had laying around. So I went on Google Images and found something that looked easy enough for me to build and just kind of went from there. This is all 2-inch square tubing, just welded together wherever I thought it needed the most and braced it up. These are removable like this. The way I made them removable was I welded in a piece of all thread right here so that they can go in. And then first they slide over these bolts right here. So I welded a bolt on at an angle that I just kind of held this up here and figured out what the angle needed to be. And I welded that on and then cut it to length. So now this bracket or brace slides over the bolt and then slides over that piece of all thread. And then I just screw these on, and I cut this one a little bit short, but these screw on and hold the brackets on. So that's how those disassemble. And then the handle disassembles into two parts. This part slides into here and is held in with this pin, and then the end of the handle slides into this part and is held in with this pin. So that's the basic construction of it. It was really easy. This was my first project welding, and it gave me a lot of confidence. Even though my welds aren't good, this thing does work and can handle some really heavy logs. So I'll probably be building more of my own equipment in the future, or whatever I need. But I'll show you a video now of how it goes together, and then also how it works with this log that I have right here in my backyard. I forgot to turn my mic on here, so I'll have to narrate. This thing breaks down to a pretty portable size. The first thing I do is put the main handle shaft into its bracket. It then gets secured with a hitch pin. I then raise it up and start putting the supports on. They first slide over the bolt and then get secured to the all thread with a plastic knob. I'll then repeat the same steps for the other side. The only thing left to do is to slide the T-handle into the main handle shaft and secure it with a smaller pin. And that's all there is to it. After about a minute setup time, it's ready to move some logs. This is just a dead tree that I cut down in my backyard, but it's still pretty good size. It's about 9 inches in diameter, and this piece right here is probably 15 to 16 feet long. These clamps don't work like I've seen in other YouTube videos where they just flop onto the log. I usually have to open the tongs up, but it lifts really easy. It does take some figuring out getting into the middle of the log so that it'll balance right, but it makes lifting these things really easy. And one thing I just remembered, if you are going to be making your own, I definitely suggest putting this bend at the end of your handle. I've seen some people that made them that just had it straight, and this bend is really critical to being able to pull this thing at waist level. My angle probably could have been a little more steep because I do have to go a little bit below my waist for it to be comfortable, but I definitely recommend putting that in there. All I did was, this was all one piece of metal, and I just cut it at an angle and welded this back so that it made that. But I would definitely do that if you're making your own. And here are a few still pictures so you can get a better view of the individual pieces. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching. Please like this video if it was helpful and consider subscribing to my channel.